This is called Having Left. Like my grandfather, I keep eagles. Who believes in spiritual horse shit? There's a common misconception about Indian people, namely everything, but especially sadness. One summer, the pepper tree rotted, black and twisted licorice crawling up the ground of my grandmother's garden. A reminder my grandfather was not my grandfather by blood. Bikini Kill had an album called Reject All American, which was not as good as the CD version of the first two records or Pussy Whipped, but it yielded IRP. People die. Sometimes a song reminds us about pink peppers. I feel inexorably American in Paris, Brooklyn, Berlin, the reservation, despite vodka and liberal arts. There's a common misconception about Indians, namely everything, but especially when pink pepper trees grow cage-like in the valley, an eagle screeching skyward, and he's in a graveyard, and I'm not there. This is called I'm All Over the Motherfucking Planet Looking Good While I'm at It. With every passing visit, they say I sound more and more like a New Yorker. It's easier to breathe through certain vowels than others. So what if phrases come to mind in the voice of Nicki Minaj or my BFF who affects that parental insistence, or a phone sex operator I called once who asked, "What do you like?" Which I couldn't answer, but in both when going down to down, down, down to down, down. And that's the damn question. It changes like an accent, elusive as a mantra said with different inflections. Babylon, New York. Before the vocab really sets, learning a new tongue requires skilled circumlocution. Mostly I learned the word in summer Bible camp. Missionary-minded students from Long Island fed us goldfish and verses. I don't go to church, but the shape remains like dishes under table linens. How can God be love and be so spiteful of godly aspiration? Innatism argues not everything is learned. When meeting on a park bench overlooking a backlit skyline of the city's trunk, powerless, dark, deaf, and more stars over Manhattan than we'll ever see again, we partake of history. And we know to swallow our X's, our fixes, our ministries. Associative links reveal our tower is missing bricks. But fingers to lips, it's a wonder we make anything. Okay. This is a fun one. Das Butt. Based on a true story. There's something to be said for a guy who just really loves your ass, you know? He can't keep his hands off it. Gives it a little tap when you get up to use the bathroom at this Midwestern restaurant you stumbled into on your birthday with all kinds of crumbly comfort food you tried but didn't like. And Narragansett beer, which deserves an asterisk, and we should come back to it at some point. He puts his hand in your back pocket at a record store he dragged you to because vinyl is really the only way to hear Diana. And even though you've heard all her songs, you snap on the big earphones and pretend anything can happen. He bites it, softly, from behind, and says, "Fuck, oh yeah. Oh my God." And I don't really understand. I mean, my back end is kind of flat, you know? Always that way. I do lunges with the hand weights and concentrate on my ass when I climb stairs, but nothing perks up. At a certain point, I knew I'll never have one of those majestic rock climbing asses jutting from a small arch, threatening to peek over a waistband. I'll never have a David ass. I don't get that. You just have to focus on other things. But he's so into it. He's so into it that you start to notice your ass again. Look behind your shoulder in the mirror, moisturize twice a day, lie at plush pillows, and give yourself a little tap in the morning before coffee. The spring, as you grab your scarf, hat, gloves, boots, sweater, jacket, and head out the door into this frigid thing that people in the Northeast dare to call a day. And it turns out, he's not even an ass man. He just loves my ass. All right, now I would like to...